Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Hey, everybody, how you doing? And welcome to the Charles Matthews Show. I have a great guest for you. Now, off air, she's been teaching me some stuff. So you're going to get a two-parter because you're going to learn a lot about tea and jam and jelly and things. And then the main thing you're going to learn about is marketing, because marketing is key. You got to learn about that. So if you want to stay tuned, you got a great guest coming up. If you want to learn what I'm talking about, let's go. Yes, we're back. And without further ado, please welcome my special guest, Barbara. Give her a round of applause.
Good morning.
All right. So I have to, warn my guests ahead of time. If you don't understand what she's saying, okay, the accent might throw you off. Okay. I will translate on the bottom for you, just trying to help you. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Charles. How are you this morning?
Don't mind me, everybody. I've been bothering her all morning. We've been about England and the tea and the
Trying to understand all things English, which are English tea with crumpets or with scones, jam, and cream.
Right. And if you know what she's talking about, if you had it before, because I've never had it, please leave a comment, send a comment. Let me know if you like it, how it tastes, because the cream and the jam thing was throwing me off there for a second. But I trust you. I heard it's really good. So I'm trusting one.
And you only have it at certain times of the day. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you have tea, English tea.
There you see. So I'm going to get my tea ready. We're going to make sure we get this, because if you're watching right now, you got to relax and listen to this great advice. We're going to show you a lot of stuff and tricks that maybe they've never thought about before. And that's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Let's get into knowing you a little bit. And that's the main thing. So, I told everybody a little story already. Born and raised from?
London, England.
There you go. So give us your background.
Right. So born and raised in London, England. My parents I'm of Jamaican heritage. My parents are Jamaican. Lived in London all my life, moved to Canada in 2017, primarily because I came on a visit, loved the country, and thought I could live here. I could really live here, and I felt I could do well here, and I have. So went home, put in my application, and lo and behold, they gave me a permanent residency visa, and I moved in June 2007.
And then you've been but we haven't converted you yet. You're still drinking tea, not coffee.
Oh, I don't think there's certain things I'll ever convert to from North America. I am British through and through. Very proud of my heritage, proud of my roots. I love living in Canada, but there are some things about England I would not let go of. So drinking tea is certainly one of them.
And we're joking around, but before we keep going, how do you drink tea properly, though? Like, what do you put in it, and what's the tea that we're supposed to be drinking?
It's black tea. Preferably from India. You can do the Earl Grey. Most people like Earl Grey. I'm not an Earl Grey person. I'm black tea. Ideally with lemon or a little bit of milk.
See, there you go. We've helped you guys already. That's number one right there. But let's get into what you really do to help other people. Let's talk about the business. What do you do to help people?
Well, I'm a professional marketeer, and I run my own marketing business called Joshua Windsor Consulting. I've been in marketing for over 25 years. Obviously, I trained in the UK, worked with a number of different agencies in the UK prior to starting my company back in 2000, actually. Started my company in 2000, and I worked with small organizations, primarily at the time in the not-for-profit sector and the faith-based community, and built my business up from there. When I moved to Canada, I was fortunate to find employment with another non-profit organization, again, as a marketeer. And then, still work my business slowly as I integrated myself into this new environment. I am passionate about marketing. I love working with small businesses. My specialism is brand development. So, really looking at how do we create and form your identity and building the strategies to create awareness and helping you to create the right messaging that engage and create a relationship with your target audience. So I provide, I would say, a all-inclusive marketing service in respect of from startup right through to plans, campaigns, advertising, digital marketing, whatever your need might be with regards to marketing, that's what my service does,
All
basically.
right, so let's start from the beginning. Because
Yes.
what happens is, even with me, when I first started my business, we jump in gung ho. Okay, we just do everything because we're like, oh, I got a business. I got to get everybody to know out there. We just, do this, do that, do this, do this, and there's not really, I'd say, a plan.
No.
Can you
Right.
tell us, like, what's the one mistake businesses do right off the bat? My whole show right now with you is going to give tips because I
Yep.
think you know exactly what needs to be done. So
Mm.
let's see the good and the bad. So as a new business, what do we do wrong when we jump in right off the bat?
I think one of the main things most businesses do is that they're not really sure about who their audiences are. So they would normally say, well, I want to reach everyone, right? Everyone wants to reach everyone.
Yep.
Classic mistake.
Yep.
But sometimes you need to really look at, does everyone need what you're offering? So
Right.
marketing, when you're marketing your business, you are supplying a need. Does that mean everybody wants what you offer? And how do you then identify your right audience? And sometimes it's about, my approach is normally, well, why don't we look within your current area or current networks and then build from there, as opposed to, I'm going to reach the whole world with my product and everyone's going to want it. Let's identify who really wants your who really wants your product. So what does your audience look like? And what I would suggest to businesses is to create different personas or different scenarios around what kind of problem would your audience have, why they would come to you. So, for example, Mary Jane has just recently launched a new, let's just say, facial product, and she wants to create awareness of it. And so her audience would be a woman who's in her, say, mid 30s, early 40s, who's just realizing that she's beginning to get older. So there are a few wrinkles, etc., etc. And she's looking for a product to help her with that, right? So those are the various scenarios that you would build around your client, your audience persona or your client persona. And you would think of, well, how, when you're building the persona, you're thinking, well, how would she come to me? How is she going to find me? What is her best route? Is she the kind of person that's going to be on Facebook? Is she someone that's going to be on a Google search, do a Google search, right? So
Right.
your personas allow you to identify who your audience is, what kind of problems they are, and how would they reach out to you?
Right. Because the main thing is, when someone asks me a question, who's your target market? And I'm like, oh, I want to market to everybody. They're like, no, but what do you do? Oh,
No,
I do special events. So I want
yeah,
everybody. Okay, what special events? I do this.
exactly,
Okay, narrowing it down,
exactly, exactly.
So I guess what you're saying is, yes, Mary Jane has a product, but is that product for, you can break it down to any ethnic, you can
Yes,
break it down to any age, cultural style, you know
that's
what
right.
I mean?
Yeah,
So it's depending on what you're doing to market your place. But how do we know for sure how do we break it down? For example, okay, we break it down now. How does the client know? Do I break it down for this person or do I break it down for that person?
You
Which
may have multiple personas,
okay,
right? You may not have just one particular demographic or one particular type of audience. You may have multiple personas. And so we would say, just think about all the various scenarios or the various types of people you think would want to buy your product. For financial services, it might be somebody slightly older. Slightly older may not mean that they're retired. It may mean that they're still employed, or they're looking at closing their business and succession planning, for example, right? Or they're retired and they're thinking about alternative ways to invest their money to generate income in retirement. So you've got to think about different audience types to be able to create personas for your business.
all right. So that means when you're doing the marketing, the first thing you do is slow down.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all excited. Hey, I got a job. I got a new business. I want to get up there, whatever.
Yeah.
But the worst thing you can do, and I'm telling you right now from experience, is don't go all gung ho. Because I started to market places that shouldn't even been marketing. You know what I mean? It's like, so slow down. So the key tip so far that we've given everybody is to look at your business first.
Yes. Yes.
Within your
Look
own
at your business first. I mean, when I started my business and I was thinking about, okay, who is my marketing? Who do I want to target as my audience?
right.
I had to decide, what is my why? Why am I doing this? And what am I most passionate about? So for me, I made a clear decision that I wanted to target startup businesses and small businesses. I didn't want to focus on established organizations or large businesses, because I felt there was a greater need for startups. They need excellent marketing services too. And small businesses are looking to transition to the next level. And I felt I had the expertise and the skills to help them to get to that level. So I've niched myself within a particular type of business, right? And I think you have to consider, how am I going to niche myself, or who do I really want to focus on as a group?
Okay, so sorry, I didn't want to cut you there, but I think the fear that everybody has is, okay, if I niche myself, I'm missing out on all these people over here.
It's all about perspective, right?
Okay.
Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Is there more than enough or not enough, right?
Right.
So it's all about your perspective. My perspective is that people are always going to want to start businesses, their business.
Right.
And through networks like the Immigration Business, Women's Business Network, Women in Business, sorry, excuse me. International Immigration Women in Business Network, get it right. There are so many women who are starting new businesses or have been in business for a few years and looking to transition to grow their business to the next level, right? That right there is just one small sector of businesses that I could potentially reach.
Okay.
Right. So again, it's all about perspective. You've got to be positive and think the glass is always half full, and there is always enough for everyone.
Okay, so what I want you to talk to my audiences about is how to be unique and different. Okay. Because when people are talking to you and talking, like, I could see your style is different than everybody else's style. When you do marketing, you see the big cheeses up there and you want to be just like them. So you start, like, I'm using me again. I saw these big cheeses out there for events and I wanted to copy their style and copy their look. But does that work or doesn't work?
Look, the Me Too strategies work, right? In that Me Too strategies basically mean somebody else is out there doing it and I'm adding my flavor to it, right? So if I'm going to add my flavor to it, I'm making it unique to me.
Right.
and what I do. And I think that's what most businesses need to be thinking about is how can I differentiate myself? Someone might be offering the same service as me. So, for example, let's take a hairdressing salon, for example. There are two hairdressing salons, one at one end of the street, the other at the other end of the street, right? They both offer very similar types of services, but what distinguishes one from the other? You could walk into one and find that the ambience is absolutely fantastic. You know, it's really stylish, very modern. And you walk in, and the first thing they offer you is Perrier water or
Yeah.
something like that, right? And then you walk into the other one, and she's killing the hairstyles. I mean, the styles are absolutely amazing, but the service is to be desired.
Mm.
Right? So it's all about, again, how am I going to stand out? Excuse me. How am I going to stand out in the crowd?
Okay.
Right? What's going to make me distinct and unique to my competitors?
Okay.
And that's how you really differentiate your business.
So
You can offer the same thing as everyone else, but
mhm,
what's going to make your business that little bit more special?
something different. See,
And sometimes it could even be on price,
right. Right.
right? It could just be something as simple as I'm going to charge $10 less.
See, you lost me when you started the scenario with hairdressing because I haven't like I got your point. I got your point.
You got my point. Good.
Your point. I haven't seen a hairdresser in how long?
I can tell.
See, that's the main thing though. You nailed it for me when you said, you know, you want to be like the big people. Okay, but what makes you different? And I love that you said, you know, you walk into a store and you just right away you just feel comfortable because they made it differently. You know, they say, "Hey, how you doing?" You walk in, there's TV screens. They're offering you order right off the bat. You're walking in, you're like, I don't even know what the haircut's gonna be like, but I'm comfortable. I'm already here,
Exactly.
right?
Physical, I mean, ambience makes a huge difference, especially if you've got a store or some kind of business where people have to come into. For businesses that maybe are online, it could be your process, literally how you relate to your people digitally or through your process of service. So it could be, as soon as I place that order, I'm getting a thank you letter or some kind of acknowledgement. I'm getting regular updates on where my order is and what's happening with my order process. And then once I've had the order, I'm getting the survey. What did you think? How was it? Blah, 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 blah. All these things relate to how people perceive your brand and your business.
Right. Now hold on. I my good friend Steven. Steven should have said to me hair waxing. Thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. But see, hold on. We're laughing and joking, but then, like you said, that could be a niche for someone's business. You got to key market something directly. Could be for guys like me that said, "Hey, you know, I don't want to do this anymore." So you got to market to the right people. So
I'm not sure about hair waxing though. Waxing can be a bit painful, and
yeah.
on one head, I wouldn't like to even imagine.
All right, then. So here, let me put it to you this way: what is it too much or too little to market? Like, you know, do you put thousands of dollars into your marketing? Do you say, well, I only put a budget every month? How do you know how to do your marketing properly?
Again, I think firstly, let me just say, everyone should market their business. Even if, and there are various ways to market your business, and it all depends on you and what you want to invest in your business. Marketing is an investment. It's not an expense or a cost. It's an investment. It's an investment to help your business grow and to expand and to create more awareness and to create opportunities for people to know you're out there. So first of all, you've got to see it as an investment rather than an expense.
Okay.
You've also got to think about, well, what are my goals? What am I trying to achieve with my marketing? Am I Am I trying to sell a particular product? Therefore, unless I create awareness of it, no one will know it's available to be bought,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Am I just trying to create awareness of my service? And how can I best do that based on my budget? Nowadays, there are various ways to organically promote your business.
Right.
You can use various artificial intelligence software to help you generate leads. There are various mechanisms and means to market your business these days, but it's about what works best for you. For some businesses, it's all online, right? For some businesses, it's through a search engine marketing. For
Mhm.
other businesses, it's just direct mail. I'm just going to just mail everybody or e-blast communications. You've got to look at what is it you want to achieve and what is the best way to achieve your goal.
All
And
right.
it's different for every organization, every business.
Right. Because what works for me might not work for other people.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you said it, because some people, they see something working for one business and they want to copy that business. And then they realize, well, he's spending way too much money that I can't
Yeah.
afford. So maybe I got to
Yeah.
scale down and change my way of doing things. So
So
that's
you've got to look at, and for me, it's like, how do you create a blend of paid and free marketing, right? And do you have the time to also invest in it as well? So it's an integration of both. I think most businesses nowadays can promote their businesses well if they message themselves well through various digital platforms. And you've got to think that nowadays, with COVID and what's happening in our world, everything has now moved to the digital platforms. If you're not in the digital space, then you are killing your business. You should have a website. You should be on some form of social media and maximizing Google and search engine marketing optimizations. You've got to be doing something digitally to be able to grow well in this current climate that we're in.
all right.
And to be honest, I think the climate is not going to change. I think
Mhm.
this is the way we're going forward.
Yes. All right. So here it is. We're gonna take a quick break, but when we come back, you mentioned something that is key for me, is like, social platforms and getting it out there. I'm gonna ask you when we get back, which one do you like? And we'll be right back.
Immigrant Women in Business (IWB) is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
It's all about your special day. We at CMJ Entertainment take pride in making all your dreams come true. With over 10 years of quality experience, we make sure to bring you the wow factor. Call us today to take the worry out of your mind and the joy into your heart. Our trained staff is waiting for you to call at 416-414-8964 or email us at info@cmgent.com. Let us see what you see, then make it 10 times better and give you time to enjoy the moment. CMJ Entertainment, your one-stop shop for all you entertainment and planning needs.
Yes, we're back live with my special guest, all the way from the UK. No, I'm just joking. She's here. And you can give her a number right there. Give her a call. It's 416-708-0411. That's 708-0411. Now, before we went to break, I'm going to pull up your site, but I want to ask you, what social platform do you like?
For me right now, Facebook is my platform. And it works well for me. It's a way of connecting with different groups, professionals. There are a number of professional business groups across Facebook that I'm a member of. And it's a way of connecting and growing and meeting people. From a business to business perspective, LinkedIn is also a great platform to connect with businesses, other businesses, especially if you're offering a B2B service. right? Um, if your business is really attracting different customers, then you've got to look at where your customers are more likely to congregate and where more likely to be. You've also got to think about whether or not you're reaching women or whether or not you're reaching men. For example, one particular client that I'm working with, when we did the analytics about their social media platform, we discovered that 70% of their of the male followers were following them via Twitter, and 70% of their female followers were following them via Facebook. And we had to create unique strategies for communicating to those audience via those platforms.
Right.
Because they had unique and special needs.
Right. And I'm glad you said that as well, because a lot of us are scared of social media. All right.
Yes.
Like you said, if you get somebody like you that knows what they're doing, social media is key and it can help your business. So
Yes.
speaking of that, let's get right into it. Right. Let's add it and tell them how you can help them, what we need to do to get you going, because you've given us great tips.
Thank
and
you.
some of us are like, shut up. Ask her how she can call her and get a hold of her. So let's ask her. So I'm asking you, how can they get a hold of you besides the number? What do you do? Do you do a consultation first? What do you do?
Basically, the way I work is I will meet with potential clients, have a chat with them about what their needs are. So they can either contact me via my website, which is joshuawindsor.ca, or via email at hello@joshuawindsor.ca, or they can give me a call directly on my cell, 416-708-0411.
All right, but I want to stop right here. It says do it yourself marketing workshop.
Yes.
I love when marketers can want us to help each other and help out. So I want to stay right here for you. Maybe do it yourself. How do you help?
Yeah. So one of the things I initiated through my business is I realized that not all startup businesses can afford services from a marketing agency like myself. So what I developed was a training program that provided individuals with a know-how to do it yourself, how to market your business yourself. And we go from starting up your business to setting up your brand, understanding your brand messaging, positioning, how to create a marketing mix, different strategies that you can use for marketing, right through to how do you follow up with analytics and data management. Right. So it's a whole gamut. It's a lot. It's over three sessions. We haven't set a new date for the fall session as yet, but we are thinking of doing something in October.
All right. And what I like about it is that, yeah, a lot of us starting off want to know a little bit about so we can understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And for you to teach us is very key, because I think even though we go and hire somebody like yourself, we need to know a little bit about it as well.
Yes. Yes. And this is something I say to all my clients, that you have got to understand how to market your business yourself.
Right. Yeah.
My philosophy is very much about teach and help to empower them to know everything that I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So they are not going to get duped by another marketing agency. I've heard lots of terrible stories, but it's also helping them to manage their business effectively, right? Yeah. And so, a lot of people are coming into starting their own business, have no idea what to expect or what will happen. So my philosophy is about teaching, helping, and assisting and supporting them as much as possible. I see myself as their marketing division. So, I'm an extension of their business, and I'm available to them literally as often as they need me.
There you go. And if you see with the page that I stopped at, there's a newsletter. I always tell everybody, I don't fill out too much newsletters, but the key people that you want to learn from, jump on their newsletters. And I'll tell you why. because newsletters always gives out little hints and tips.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? Have you thought of this today? I just found this out. This is what's going on. Did you know that Facebook does this and LinkedIn does this? And, we can help you out. And if you see that she does testimonies and she helps workshops, I bet you any money her newsletter is going to be chock full of information that can help you out as well. So I advise you to go here, fill out her newsletter. And then how often do you put out the newsletter?
Newsletters are going out once a month at the moment.
Oh, see? So you won't be bombarded with a whole bunch of emails, but
No.
you're going to get some good, great information about marketing. So that is the number one thing that you need to understand is when you get the helpful hints, grab them when you can. Okay. So before I let you go, the other thing for me about marketing is the brand. Okay. We didn't touch on the brand, but I want to touch on the brand real quick before I let you go.
Yes.
Branding is so hard. Especially when you get started, you know what I mean? And I don't know, when we start a business, should we come talk to you first?
Yes.
Because before we even start the business, hey, I'm opening a business. This is my brand. These are the colors I'm thinking about. This is my logo I'm thinking about. Because to me, if I did that ahead of time, I would have realized that certain branding is hard to push out there. It's misleading. You know what I mean? You think your logo is the greatest. And then when someone looks at it, they're like, what you selling?
Someone sent me a logo design that they had created recently, and they asked me if I could give my opinion. And they said, "Oh, I've just created this logo. It didn't cost me anything." And I basically said, you can tell. Primarily because your brand isn't just a logo. Your brand is more than that. It's a perception of how people think about you it's how people think about you as a business, right? And so your brand is all encompasses your credibility, your professionalism, and it's what people think of you. Your logo is just a part of that process, that brand development process. And I think most people, when they're starting a business, they just think, okay, I need a logo. Yeah, that works, and that looks okay. But does it really communicate what you want it to communicate in respect of the identity of this organization? Right? Or this business? Does it really? What is your identity? What do you want people to think about you when they see your brand and your logo? I recently rebranded. We've literally just done it and just launched it, a brand for a new community group, which will start here in Toronto. And when I originally met with her, I spoke to her about how did she want her brand to be perceived, or how did she want people to think about her brand? Right. And she gave me lots of adjectives and words that did not depict what I was seeing on her existing website. Okay. And so I had to say to her, okay, so are you seeing your website versus what you're saying to me? What's the disparity between the two? And she was like, oh, I now understand what you mean. And I'm like, exactly. So we went away to create the look and the identity that represents how she wants her company, her business, to be perceived and identified. So it's people should really talk to someone first before they start creating and get the foundations right. All right. So people should talk to people. Talk to somebody. 416. Talk to me. 0411. All right. Now it's at that time, and this sounds weird and this feels weird me saying this to you, but it's come to the end of the show. And here at Charles Matthews, we do one thing. It's called the Queen Wave. It feels weird telling you to do the Queen Wave.
But this is your opportunity to shout out anybody you want to shout out, to say bye to anybody. This is your opportunity.
I've got to say thank you to Svetlana from IWB and the team there, just to say thank you for being such a great support and for being advocates of Joshua Windsor Consulting. Really appreciate the team and value everything that they're doing.
Okay. Well, let's see the Queen Wave one more time, because that's how you're supposed to see. That's how to all my other guests, that's how you do the Queen Wave, dude. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming. It was fun. We got a lot of great information. Tips that I'm going to walk away with again is know the brand, pinpoint the brand, know your customers, pinpoint the customers, know your niche, and make yourself different. And before you start, does what you see explain your business to everybody else? There you go. All right, everybody.
Thank you very much, Charles. It's been great doing this with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Like I always say, you didn't have to watch, but you did. And I appreciate you did. Be kind to someone. Give someone a hug. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great day.